The terrorists made a mistake. They picked the wrong goddamn show. Because if they thought we were going to roll over, they don't know Ariana and they sure as hell don't know me. I was like, we got to get back on the road. It was unfair. It was a ridiculous ask of me to put on her. Her fans were dead. People were still being identified. People were still in the hospital fighting for their lives. She was suffering from trauma. She's like, I can never sing these songs again. I can't put on these costumes. Are you crazy? When she found out that fans of hers had died, she was so sad. I mean, she cried for days. She felt every pain, every face that they announced, every name. Like it was, she wore it on her sleeve, like every bit of emotion, because that's who she is. I went through the process of canceling the entire tour. And our insurance brokers, Lloyd's of London, 100% agree with her. Whatever she wants, will pay you for the entire tour. She doesn't have to do anything. So it would have been a ton of money for her without having to do any work. And she knew that. By the time I landed back in LA, I had 16 text messages from her. And she's saying, call me. I've been thinking. I call her. She said, Scooter, if I don't do something, I'm not who I say I was. And these people died in vain. I need to get back onto the road immediately. And we thought about it, and I said, I need you to take 2 weeks. I want you to see a therapist. I want you to get your mind right because it's going to be a lot. And I have a crazy idea. Before our next show, I want to go back to Manchester. We're not going to wait 3 months. We go back now. And she said, I'm with you. Once Ariana said yes, within 24 hours, I put together pretty much 90% of the lineup. She started working on what set she was going to do. I was on the phone with Live Nation trying to find a venue, which didn't come together until literally 3 days before the event. And someone was going to give me a venue because they're not going to have a choice. We didn't tell Ariana anything. That was the deal. Ariana knows nothing, doesn't know, everyone that's coming. She needs to focus on what she needs to do because this is a tremendous amount we're putting on her shoulders. And I said, I'll take care of everything else. Every once in a while, I might tell her, hey, this person signed on. Like at one point, we just said, you know what? I'll tell you everything a day or two before the event. But for the next 2 weeks, you work on yourself and you work on your music. Because I couldn't put that on her shoulders. Too much. I mean, that girl is, for a little tiny Italian girl, she is tough as nails. She struggled. Even the day of the show. I mean, the London attack was the day before our show. That was when we all really questioned ourselves. Are we really doing the right thing? The star of the show, in my opinion, other than Ariana, was the crowd. Ariana has built a following because she's part of it. Her fans are like a world that she loves, and she's a citizen of that world. She's taken superfans, made them her friends, and brought them on the road. She keeps in touch with these people. When she's making her album, she'll play it for them before the label and say, which songs do you guys like? To a couple superfans to make sure that when she goes to the label, it represents them, not just her. We went to the hospital and met a lot of the victims, and then we actually went to a private location and met 19 families of the victims who had lost, 10 minutes at a time, one by one. And that was the hardest 2 hours of either of our lives. What's it like? You're meeting people who've lost loved ones within the past week. Nothing you can do to bring those people back. And I don't care what anyone says. Till the day I die, anyone says anything bad about Ariana, they got to come see me because she didn't leave. After the first family, we all were like, can we do this? We talked about it and we said, let's keep going. And she sat and talked to every single one of those families. And that's far beyond being a superstar. That's being a superhuman. After the first family, I had to help her. She was distraught. And I was lost. And Ariana had to help me gather myself. It was beyond tough, but every single time we got down, we reminded each other, we get to go home. Our loved ones are still going to be there. That mother's never coming home. That daughter's never coming home. That son is never coming home. That dad is never coming home. So we didn't really have a right to be so sad that we couldn't continue.